Do you feel that the world is unfair and that your efforts are fruitless? Does it cause you anxiety to see that those who act wrongly seem to prosper more than you? Psalm 37 isn't just ancient poetry, it's God's ultimate guide to regaining your peace of mind and securing your future. Today, we'll delve into every verse to find the rest your soul needs. Stay with me for the next 30 minutes. We're going to analyze every word, every promise, and every instruction. You won't leave this video the same person. Let's begin verse 1. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of those who do iniquity. Don't be impatient. In Hebrew, this suggests not getting worked up or burning up inside. It's easy to look at the success of others and feel like we're losing the race. But the key here is understanding that your peace doesn't depend on the justice of men, but on the faithfulness of God. If you compare yourself to others, you lose sight of your purpose. Today, your first task is to extinguish that fire of envy and ignite the fire of trust. But why shouldn't we worry about them? Verse 2 has the definitive answer. For like grass they will soon be cut down, and like green grass they will wither. Here's the shift in perspective you need. Sometimes we envy the glowing of those who do wrong, because they always seem to be green and strong. But God tells us that such success is superficial and without roots. It's like grass, impressive today, but gone tomorrow. Don't waste your eternal energy envying something temporary. Focus on what doesn't wither, your relationship with the Creator. What is of God remains. What is not has an expiration date. So, if we shouldn't look at others, where should we look? Verse 3 gives us the plan of action. Trust in the Lord and do good, and you will dwell in the land, and you will feed on faithfulness. This is the antidote to envy, focused action. God doesn't just ask you to wait, He asks you to do good. Often anxiety paralyzes us, but faith sets us in motion. Feeding on the truth means feeding on what is real, not on the illusions of the world. If you feel insecure about your future today, stop looking at the chaos and start sowing goodness around you. Your security doesn't come from circumstances, it comes from the one who shepherds you. That is seeking gold in the Word, understanding that trust without action is only a wish. But trust with obedience is a guarantee of provision. Watch, trust with obedience brings provision. And when you begin to trust and do good, something wonderful happens in your heart, something that verse 4 describes as the secret of true happiness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Many people read this verse backward, thinking that if God gives them what they want, then they will delight in him. But the secret is prioritization. Delight means finding your greatest pleasure in his presence, in his character, in his word. When your heart beats in time with God's heart, your desires change. Suddenly, what you ask for is aligned with his will, and his answer is a resounding yes. Don't seek his hands to obtain things, seek his face, and everything else will be added unto you. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. The word commend in the original means to roll something onto someone else. Imagine you're carrying a backpack that's too heavy and you decide to roll it onto the shoulders of someone stronger. That's what it means to commend. That's what God is asking you to do today with your future, your fears, and your plans. The verse ends with the most powerful promise of all, and he will act. It doesn't say that you will act or that luck will act. It says that God will take responsibility for the results if you dare to let go of control. Your job is to trust. The work of the results belongs to him. We are digging for the gold of surrender. It is not weakness, it is the ultimate strategy of power. Letting the Almighty take command. And when you let him act, the results are public. Verse 6 tells us how God will vindicate your righteousness before everyone. He will make your righteousness shine like the light, and your justice like the noonday. Sometimes we worry that others will judge us unfairly, or that our integrity will go unnoticed while the unjust seem to shine. But this verse is a guarantee of divine vindication. You don't need to shout your defenses or publicize your accomplishments. If you have committed your path to God, he himself will ensure that your truth shines. Like the midday sun, which cannot be ignored or hidden, so will be the clarity of your purpose. God not only blesses you, but he also honors your faithfulness in the eyes of others. Rest in his righteousness. This is the pure gold of Psalm 37, the promise that God is your best advocate. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. It's about ceasing to present God with our list of complaints about other people's success. The word wait here implies a confident expectation, not passive resignation. When you stop being upset by what others achieve through crooked means, you free up space in your heart to receive what God has for you through the straight path. At Gold in the Word, we know that the deepest truths are often best heard when everything else is quiet. Silence before God is the greatest declaration of war against your own anxiety. Today, I challenge you to this. After watching this video, give God 5 minutes of absolute silence. Don't ask, just be silent before him. But silence is difficult when we feel anger. That's why verse 8 gives us an urgent warning about our emotions. Refrain from anger, and cast out wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. Anger is like a wildfire. If you don't extinguish it in time, it will destroy all the ground you've gained with your patience. The psalm tells us, do not fret, do not fret. This means that when we let ourselves be consumed by indignation at what others do, we risk ending up acting just like them. Anger clouds your judgment and leads you away from the gold of God's will. Don't let the bad behavior of others turn you into someone you're not. Let go of anger today. It's not worth the price of your peace. Digging into the truth sometimes means clearing away the debris of our own character, and anger is the first piece of debris we must remove to find true blessing. Why is it so important to let go of anger? Because the ultimate fate of those who do evil and those who wait on God is completely opposite. Verse 9 shows us the outcome. For the wicked will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. This is where faith meets reality. The psalm gives us a long-term perspective. What the wicked build is temporary, it has no eternal foundation, and therefore will be destroyed. In contrast, waiting on God is not a waste of time, it is an investment. Inheriting the land is not just about physical territory, but about stability, about having a secure place under God's sun. If today you feel you are falling behind by waiting on the Lord, remember, those who run down crooked paths lose their destiny, but those who wait on Him inherit everything. Have you ever felt that waiting was causing you to miss opportunities? Tell me in the comments how God rewarded you after that waiting. And for those who wonder how long the triumph of evil will last, verse 10 gives us a surprising answer about the brevity of time. I love the phrase soon. Sometimes our despair comes from thinking that evil is permanent, but God tells us it's fleeting. You can spend years anguished by someone who makes your life difficult. But a day will come when you look back, you search for that problem, you search for that person who oppressed you, and they simply won't be there. Evil has no roots in eternity. The gold we unearth today is historical patience, knowing that the victory of evil is fleeting, but the peace of God is forever. Don't exhaust yourself fighting against shadows that are about to disappear. In Gold in the Word, we learn not to look at the size of the giant, but at the brevity of his time before the eternal God. If you've made it this far with me digging through these first 10 verses, give the video a like, because what comes in the second part of the psalm is even deeper. And while the wicked disappear, what happens to those who suffer but trust? Verse 11 gives us the most beautiful counterpart, an abundance of peace. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy peace and prosperity. Many people confuse meekness with weakness, But in biblical language, meekness is power under control. It's choosing not to fight the world's way because you trust in God's defense. And look at the reward. Not only do they inherit the earth, but they revel in an abundance of peace. It's not a meager or barely sufficient peace. It's an overflowing peace that floods every area of your life. Meekness is the smartest strategy you can have. While the world fights over crumbs of power, you rest in an inheritance of peace that no one can take from you. But let us not be deceived. The peace of the meek disturbs those who walk in injustice. Verse 12 shows us the reaction of the wicked to the light of the righteous. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash his teeth at him. If you've ever felt like there are people actively working to see you fall, this verse is for you. The Bible doesn't ignore the existence of planned evil. Plotting means devising plans, strategies to harm those trying to do the right thing. Your peace and integrity are an offense to those who live in chaos, and their reaction is gnashing of teeth, a gesture of powerlessness and rage. Don't be surprised if your obedience to God generates resistance. But don't stop at this verse, because God's response to that gnashing of teeth is, well, it's something that will surprise you. Sometimes, when digging for gold, we encounter hard rocks that try to stop us. The opposition is just that rock. It's not the end of the mine. How does the creator of the universe react to the schemes of men? The answer is in verse 13, and it is one of the most striking images in the entire psalm. Before continuing with the second part of Psalm 37, write in the comments, I want to see the second part.